Hi, Walter Kirkland here. Welcome to Kirkland's Corner. We got another show. The spring goes to summer. We have tonight the state's attorney, Aisha Braveboy. We also have a professor, a lawyer, a wine owner, a smooth operator, Marcus Johnson, all here on Kirkland's Corner. Don't go away. Be right back. Watch the promo. That was good.
So I know it's
thank you,
positive
Angela.
that we met because of the positive
That's
things
right.
that you're doing.
Yep.
Paying it forward. He mentors
Yes.
children. I love that about you.
Thank you.
So my parting words are just keep supporting Walter Kirkland.
Did you hear that?
Keep on your gaddy.
And Gloria, why is it a magical moment?
Because we worked so hard to get here.
This guy's about to make history. You know what I mean? He's about to bring the minor football league into the Washington, D.C. area. Tell them about your business and what you do.
Oh, so basically I'm a network consultant for Graffiti Consulting. I'm the president and the owner. Also the owner for the new NFL football club.
Hey, Alfred, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Man, bless you, brother. Thank you. Alfred with the purple line.
It's about legacy wealth.
Yes.
Building legacy wealth for ourselves, our families, and our children, our progeny.
Hey, welcome back. My first guest is the American politician, state's attorney. She was a delegate at District 25 from 2007 to 2015. She was elected as the Prince George's County State's Attorney. Aisha Braveboy, how are you? Give me some dap there.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Kirkland's Corner. I've been waiting to get you on this show, and I'm so excited for you, what you're doing. Tell us about some of your initiatives. I know we talked in the green room about these fatalities. Tell the viewers of what's happening in Prince George's County. It's been kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, we, like many other jurisdictions in the region, have experienced an increase in the number of fatal accidents over the last 3 years that we've had, fatal car accidents.
Yes.
And we've seen that increase from 2016, 17, and 18. And already this year, Maryland State Police is reporting that we've had 9 fatal accidents here in Prince George's County with over 14 fatalities.
This year alone?
This year alone.
Oh my goodness.
And over the past 6 to 7 months, if you look at it over that period, we've lost over 50 people and over 40 fatal accidents.
And you know what, you moved me. You actually talked to these moms of these people that died, correct?
And dads.
And dads. So
yes.
How's that? I mean, that must be.
And siblings and family members of individuals who have lost their lives. And these are really tough meetings to have, but I personally feel that as state's attorney, my responsibility is to ensure that if we move forward with prosecution, we do so when we bring the victim into that courtroom. I mean, not physically, obviously, but emotionally. And we want the jurors to know the lives that were taken.
I like the way you said earlier, you try to get into their psychic. What was that person about? And you try to bring that to the courtroom. Is that to bring more of a fact-based analysis of the court case?
Absolutely, and to bring justice to those victims and to the community. The people who were lost in these fatal accidents are valuable members of our community. And we will all suffer as a result of their loss. You know, recently my office secured a conviction against a 56-year-old woman in this county who was a grandmother, good person.
Oh my goodness.
But she decided one day that she wanted to speed off to cash in her lottery ticket. And as a result of her excessive speed, she ran into a restaurant. It was called Top of the Hill Restaurant.
I remember that.
That's correct. And she killed a grandfather.
Trying to cash in a lottery ticket. You got to be kidding me.
Well, you know, people make excuses for driving either excessively or driving impaired. But the reality is when you decide to drive in an unsafe manner, you're putting yourself and every other person on that roadway in jeopardy. And we have to hold you accountable. Because while we understand that you didn't mean to kill anyone that day, you made decisions, you made choices that affected not just yourself, but every single other person. And if there is a fatal accident as a result of your decisions, or if someone is seriously injured as a result of your decisions, I have to get justice for them and their families, period.
What's the numbers, Aisha, in terms of drunk driving and alcohol? Do you have any statistics on that?
So about 1/3 of the accidents each year are a result of impaired driving. About 1/3 each year are a result of impaired driving. And so that's, to me, an avoidable situation.
I agree.
If you don't get out on the road after you've been drinking or if you've been using drugs, if you're not out on the roadway, you're not causing that accident. So those are simple things people can do to save other people's lives and save themselves a whole lot of grief.
Now, you spoke also, which is, we got to talk about this marijuana. I mean, with marijuana that's going to be legal, recreational, and medical,
well,
what are the ramifications in driving, and how are you going to put that together in terms of putting some models together?
Sure. I mean, this is an emerging issue as we see our neighbors, like the District of Columbia, legalize recreational use of marijuana. It's not like their drivers only stay in the District of Columbia. In addition to that, the legislature a few years back approved medical marijuana. So there are people who have prescriptions who can legally use marijuana in the state of Maryland and in Prince George's County, and they also are drivers. And so what the state hasn't done, and what I will be pushing for, are some standards around marijuana, the use of marijuana in driving, and the impairment that marijuana causes to drivers as well.
Oh, similar to like drinking and alcohol.
That's correct.
That makes sense.
So we know that 0.08 is the legal limit. And if you're over 0.08, we assume that you are impaired and you are not legally able to drive. But for marijuana and other drugs, we don't have similar standards. So we need to create those. We have to keep up with the times. And we know that we're moving in this direction. We've already moved in this direction, especially as it relates to medical marijuana. We know that people are using marijuana. And we know that in some of these accidents, not only is there alcohol involved, but also sometimes we see the presence of marijuana.
What do you mean by that?
So we can detect whether or not
smell.
No, you can measure, or you can detect whether or not THC is in someone's system, and so, but we don't have any standards around the levels of THC that may be acceptable for driving.
What are they doing in other states, Aisha, in terms of the legalized marijuana and driving? You haven't had any success cases?
Well, actually, that's what we're doing now. We're researching, and we're going to be working with Maryland State Police and also our legislature to try to create some framework and develop standards around that, because it is, again, an emerging issue for us, and we know that we have to do a better job of ensuring that everyone understands what is acceptable on our roadways and what is not.
So tell us about, which I'm going to be working with you on this Sober and Safe campaign.
Yes, our drive. Focus. Let's start with focus, because April is Distracted Driver Awareness Month. Yes, it is Distracted Driver Awareness Month. So our campaign is Drive Focused. Meaning keep your eyes on the roadway, don't look at your phone or any other electronic device while you're driving, and Drive Sober, meaning don't use drugs and alcohol before you drive. And also drive safe. Don't speed. And also make sure that you have on your seatbelt and that your children are appropriately restrained in the vehicle.
And how are you going to address that? I know you have this campaign. I know I think the police have been stopping. Is there traps out there right now? Is there awareness campaigns?
Well, there are. The police do have, they have checkpoints. Where they check to determine whether or not, especially in the evening, if people are driving impaired. They also remind people, even during the day, to drive safely. Don't drive distracted. Make sure you're not looking at your phone. Make sure you're wearing your seatbelts, and make sure that you're not speeding on the roadways. You know, the speed limits aren't there just because someone arbitrarily decided that they wanted to limit your ability to drive.
That's right.
They're there because for safety reasons.
I think what we don't realize, and I talk to my kids all the time, you're driving a car that weighs what, 2 tons, 3 tons, and you don't know until you have your accident. I mean, I'm sure you've had an accident, I've had an accident, and I think it's a free-for-all with all this distraction, social media, And I think we got to find a way to, maybe with our driver programs, or we got to implement more structure earlier, I think, in a driver's life, because you said, like you said, it's a new norm, it's a new world.
Absolutely, and we've reached out to our high schools, and some of our high school students have developed poems and other messages for young people, and we're making that a part of our campaign too. So we will be rolling out their messages around safe driving that they're delivering to their peers, because they're so young.
They're very young.
And they want to grow up, they want to have their careers, they want to live their lives. And they don't want their peers to be in these accidents, lose their lives or lose their limbs and their ability to achieve their dreams.
I know. Tell the viewers about the event. So it's April 27th.
April 27th from 9:30 to 1 p.m. And
Where?
that's at the Southern Regional Technology and Recreation Center off of Bach Road in Oxon Hill.
Okay.
And so we invite everyone. It's a free event. There will be some giveaways. We will also have music. We'll have food. And we'll also have some live demonstrations.
Oh, what to do and not to do.
What to do
like
and what not to
Okay.
do. So we have a lot of partners. Our Maryland State Highway Administration will be there. Our
Awesome.
Prince George's County Police will be there, and other agencies, law enforcement agencies. And we're also going to have a panel of experts.
Oh, excellent.
That
Panel
will
discussion.
talk. Yes, we'll have a panel discussions. We'll have the expert prosecutor from my office that handles these motor vehicle manslaughter cases. We'll also have someone from the medical examiner's office that examines the bodies.
Oh boy, the fatalities and all that stuff.
Yes, but these medical examiners are an important part of us building our case to determine how we want to proceed in these types of cases. We'll also have someone there who can talk about how accident reconstruction is done.
Oh, interesting.
And so it's going to be a very interesting panel. Someone from MAD will be there.
Excellent.
We'll also have a representative of an insurance company and an attorney who does personal injury. So we're really excited about bringing these experts together on that date, which is, again, April 27th, which is a Saturday from 9:30 to 1 p.m. at the Southern Regional Technology and Recreation Center on Bach Road.
Excellent, excellent. So let's digress a bit to
Sure.
Indian Head Highway. I mean, what can I say? It's been really tragic. There's been so many accidents there. Can you talk about what you're going to do there? Is it lights? I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? It's been tragic.
Let me say this. The legislature has passed a law that will allow, I think, additional speed cameras and lights on Indian Head Highway. But, when looking at the statistics, Indian Head Highway, though it does have a number of fatal accidents and other accidents that happen there, what we've also seen is that that 210 is not even in the top 5 roadways over the past 3 years where accidents have occurred. So we're talking about I-95, 301, Suitland Parkway, 214,
those are the
202,
prevalent areas.
Route 1.
Route
So
1.
what we see is that it's all across the county. And while I believe that 210 we should focus on 210, we also must focus on some of these other roadways where we're also seeing fatalities and accidents.
Wow, wow. Yeah, because I see that in the news, and it's very, very tragic. So let's just kind of get out of that mode. So again, April 27th, viewers, 9:30 to 1 o'clock. We will be there supporting Aisha. We'll be doing some outtakes. We'll probably have some stuff on Kirkland's Corner as a follow-up. The Safe and Sober campaign, correct? Is that what it's called?
Focus, sober, and safe.
Okay, say that 5 times, okay. And we'll be there. Tell the viewers more about your position. So why did you want to become a state's attorney? You were a very successful delegate for me. That's how I met you years ago. Why the state's attorney?
Well, I still wanted to serve my community, and I knew being a delegate was great, and I appreciated the opportunity that the residents in the 25th District gave me to represent them. But during that time, I also knew that I wanted to do more. And the criminal justice system has always been something that has fascinated me.
And you're a lawyer, of course.
And I'm a lawyer, and I went to, and I have to just give a shout out to Howard University School of Law, which this year celebrated 150 years of legal excellence.
Dap, man. Historic. And I heard from my wife, Stephanie, that the acceptance rate is not a given there at Howard,
No,
correct?
it is not.
I mean, I forget the number she told me. In 150 years, how many people have been accepted?
Oh, well, I don't know if I have those specific numbers.
I think it's like maybe 700 or 900. It was some number that to get into Howard, you got to be smart.
Yeah, you got to be pretty smart to get into Howard.
So kudos to you.
Well, thank you. But you know, being a student at Howard, one of the things we've learned is that we must be social engineers.
What do you mean by that? Social engineers? That's a new one?
Right. So it is oftentimes lawyers that move the thinking of our country forward.
Move the needle forward.
Move the needle forward.
Yes.
So if you look at folks like Thurgood Marshall, Charles Hamilton Houston,
yes,
people who, but for their fortitude, we would not have made the advancements, or at least not at the time that we made them. And so in the 21st century, we still have many more advancements we need to make, like ending the school to prison pipeline, ensuring that we are not over-incarcerating our people in our community, and that we have smart crime-fighting strategies that address some of the underlying issues that impact people, that cause some of the negative behaviors in our community.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And so as state's attorney, I have the ability to do that. I have the ability to say, you know, my office, yes, we are here to keep our community safe, but we are not going to do it the same old way.
Yes.
And so we're employing new strategies now. I have changed my juvenile unit into a youth justice unit, where we don't simply focus on prosecuting young people, but that we also look at ways to intervene in their lives, and also divert them out of the criminal
diversion
justice
program. I see.
And I've worked for a diversion program for 15 years, and in that time we diverted over 4,000 children from our justice system. So I know that diversion works. And as state's attorney, I have the ability to impact even more lives of our children and their families, because we understand that children live in the context of a family. And if the family is broken, the child is broken. So when we look at changing our children, we also give the families, we don't judge them, but we give them the support they need to be stronger, so that their kids can be stronger and make better decisions.
Foundation.
Absolutely.
So we got like 1 minute to go. What can you tell the viewers about, you know, your campaign, the next 12, 18 months? We were talking about that. What is some of your visions?
Well, we have developed also a sentencing and conviction integrity unit.
What does that mean?
Where we look at old cases. People can come to us and say, we believe that this sentence was unfair, or this conviction was unfair, and then our office will research it and determine whether or not a mistake was made, and we can take actions in that way.
Oh, okay.
In addition to that, I have developed a public integrity unit. That unit prosecutes police misconduct, and we just indicted a police officer for excessive force. And it also will address public corruption, because the people of Prince George's County deserve to be represented by people who operate with integrity.
We may have to bring you back. I mean,
I would love to come
you would love to come back. Congratulations on your success, your leadership. You're a powerful woman in Prince George's County. And just keep up the great work. Again, we'll support you at the end of the month, and we're just excited here in Kirkland's Corner to be a partner in crime with you. And I got to put a plug in. Thanks for being at my wedding too. You know, you're just a great person. So, last parting words.
Well, last parting words. Thank you, Prince George's County, for electing me, and thank you, Walter, for all of the service that you provide to Prince George's County.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, well, hey, we want to thank her. She's here hanging out with me, and what an honor. And coming up, the man of the hour, the true Renaissance man, sitting next to the man, the flow rider, Marcus Johnson. We'll be right back on Kirkland's Corner. Thank you, Aisha. Appreciate it.
Every year, millions of working American families and their children hide their struggle with hunger. it doesn't need to be that way. Hunger hides, but we can help. Let's end hunger in America.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hey, welcome back to Kirkland's Corner. I have a guest, the American jazz producer, entrepreneur, director for All the Love Bands Company. You know, this guy, I've known Marcus for years. He's also a great golfer. And he has a great wine here, Flow Wine. And I think his company's, is it called Three Keys?
Yes, Three Keys Music and Flow Brands.
And Flow Brands. Welcome to Kirkland's Corner, brother.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you know that.
We've been talking about you for a while, and I'm glad you accepted this. So, I mean, we were talking earlier, man. What's going on with you? You've been busy. You've been traveling. Tell the viewers what's going on with Marcus Johnson.
It's been a not-so year, man. I mean, literally, I thought I would have some type of holiday break, but I didn't. Got a couple of weeks off in January, and then went and spoke at the United Negro College Fund for their Coalition of Black Excellence. And then,
what was that about? What did you talk about?
I sat on a panel. One panel was me and Raphael Sadiq from Tony talking about the new music industry and
the new norm, huh?
Yeah, what's going on with it, how to make money, you know, in it. And the other was your side hustle. And dealing with people I mean, you know, in our community, we're taught that you should get a job, you know, go get a job. And to this day, we still are fighting that battle of going to get a job versus building a company. And civil rights is actually at the bottom right-hand corner of a paycheck or your ability to press Cash App, not, you know, being somebody's employee.
That's what I like about you, Mark, because I've known you probably the last 7-8 years. You're an entrepreneur. You're a professor at Howard, correct? Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, you were rushing to get here, so thank you.
You're welcome.
But you're an entertainer. You have your business. Why do you do so many different streams of income? Why do you have these side hustles, to your point?
I mean, I consider them all real hustles, honestly. You know, the way that I've configured my business is with an understanding of an overall theory of we're really in the therapy business. I'm not in the music industry.
What do you mean?
People use my music and all my products to feel better. Lifestyle enhancement. So when you look at it that way, it's not a side hustle because when your number one target demographic is African American women, women in general, their number one target or alcoholic beverage is wine. I don't know a better therapeutic, session than a little Marcus Johnson, some wine, and a book. I mean, and that's where we got flow. So, really, it's getting into the deepest parts of understanding your consumer behavior, sociological components of it, as well as the marketing behavioral components of it. And then you can, from there, back out into your product. So that's just how I think and how I teach my students.
So it all kind of goes together in terms of your flow, so to speak. The wine, the music, the ambiance, the relaxation. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm loving that. So tell the viewers, where's Marcus from? Who's Marcus Johnson?
I mean, I'm a guy who was born in Columbus, Ohio, grew up Montgomery County. I have been between Montgomery County and Prince George's County pretty much all my life. I had a place originally in National Harbor when it first opened up. I'm actually back in Montgomery County now, but still performing over here a lot. I work with the different groups, the Links, the 100, and member at Woodmore, those kind of things. I'm over here, do events at Lake Presidential. But really, just a guy who decided to stick around town and, make my best me here, make my best vision here. And
why do you stay here? Why is this your core?
Well, there are a couple of reasons. Number one, my mom is here. My parents were here, and my mom had a stroke when I was early senior year of high school. And so it's kind of hard to get too far away from her. And most recently, my daughter's here. I would say that if Chase was not here, I probably would not be in DC. Right now, there are a bunch of opportunities around the world that I push my students out to, you have to take, advantage of.
Sure.
But then also, this area has been so incredibly supportive of my music, of my brand, of me, of books, the things that we do in the community. It's a very unique place, and there are some surveys that have been done, and DC is one of the top, if not the top, live music cities in the country.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it would be more like California or New York City or Atlanta.
You cannot get a gig in California, LA. I mean, very few, and then not at the level. You have another guest coming on, with the whole kind of for the loving you, for the cooling you, the tricky entertainment.
Tricky entertainment, yeah.
I mean, you don't have all those people doing things like that in all these other cities.
You know what, Marcus, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm from New York City. You don't have that type of mechanism.
You go through the regular system. So in DC, it's a different kind of East Coast, because brothers are like, shh, let me go get mine. And then they get together with their groups and you find your cliques. But also, if you can show that you can put, cheeks in seats, then, everybody's pretty much willing to work with you. And now we have things like the City Winery. I still do Blues Alley.
Yes.
You have the Hamilton. You have all these very, let's say, glamorous, if you may. I mean, Blues Alley is almost like my living room. But you have some great venues, and so you don't have those in a lot of the other bigger cities.
Yeah, and there's smaller venues too, very intimate, if I may say. Yeah. So
that might be next.
Yeah. So what's the next 5 years for Marcus? What do you have in store? I mean, you got your wine. You're adjunct professor. You're performing. This is your market. What's the next 5 years for Marcus?
I mean,
where do you want to be?
Continuing to grow the business. I mean, really looking at that. Had a very interesting conversation with somebody earlier last week about the idea of, what a political life would look like for Marcus Johnson.
Ooh, that's fascinating, because you and I have had debates about and discussions about this in light of, let's divert there. In light of who's in the White House, and in light of what's happening with racism, would you want to play in that arena?
Why not? I'd play in it every day. Have you ever been in a wine meeting?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Most of us haven't. Most of the places where I go, you end up looking like the only person that looks like you. And not to say that, people look down at you, or let's say I've had some interesting comments that came back, my way. We were at one national chain at their headquarters with like thousands of stores.
Out west?
I won't say, but
I see such a blind man.
I mean, so you go in a meeting and then they come at you and they're like, how did you get this meeting? Well, we got the meeting through supplier diversity. They're like, I know you did, but like, you're not really a supplier diverse company. Meaning like, we had our stuff together. It was a compliment. but it was a compliment, you know,
Absolutely.
like, oh, you like most of the people that I see that look like you are, you know, one of these ways. And I think one of the things there is that we have a responsibility in our community to make sure that we live excellence. And you and I talk about this all the time.
Live excellent, yes.
You know, and excellence is a verb. It is
Yes.
not a noun. And whether it's whether you're lovable, whether you're, you know, have compassion, whether you're excellent, when you use those types of quote unquote like adjectives, they're really verbs. You must live excellently every day. Excellence is a process.
Action, yes, it's a process.
And so I think.
So you trust the process, don't you?
I like the process.
Yes.
And I believe that, you know, the process kind of wound up the right way and structured the right way allows for, you know, all the crops to be watered properly.
I also think, Marcus, based on Donald Trump, who, honestly, I think he's an entertainer. He didn't think he was going to win, in my opinion. I think it was a game.
Yeah, it was.
He has all this money, and he won, and he's sitting there saying, oh my God, I won this thing. If he can run for office, why can't you run for office? So that's something you should really consider. I don't know what level. Now let's just have our viewers check this out. If you were to run, what office would you want to run for? Just throw it out there.
My dad told me never let your left hand know what your right's doing. So, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, you never know what could happen. I mean, I may end up running companies and just staying in the
corporate business world.
Yeah.
But if you had to,
I don't know. What do you think I should be?
I don't know, man. You know, I thought about it too. I think you should run as a council person to get the grassroots Barack Obama. You got that Barack Obama look. And take that element and elevate from that point. That's what I would do, just to get the test the waters, so to speak, with the community. That's what I would do, because they know you as the entertainer, but they don't know you as the politician. You know, sitting in these meetings. I've worked with some politicians where they're grinding and they're affecting people's lives. So, but I think what you have is you have the popularity that people know you. I just think that's something you should consider in this political process. And in my honest opinion, we're not a political show here, I don't know who we have out there that can beat Mr. Trump. So we need strong leaders. Is it Bernie Sanders? I don't think so. But we as black folk, and we talk about this all the time, Marcus, we have to kind of get involved with the political process and use our power to influence the youth.
Instead of sitting around and waiting for
Yes.
somebody to do something for us and sitting on Facebook talking about how laws are written for us. That's absolute.
Yes.
You know what? I mean, it is, you know, this is of the people, by the people, it's we the people. So to sit back,
Yes.
you know, the idea is that I've never heard, or being a, you know, a Georgetown, you know, lawyer, when I studied constitutional law, I never saw Make America Great Again, but what I did see absolutely was to make America more perfect. So even the forefathers understood that from the beginning that this wasn't perfect and it would never be perfect.
It was not perfect.
So it's a process and
Yes.
it's a living organism. So when you get people to actually think in terms of static terms, then the Constitution dies. That's not what the forefathers wanted. But when you take civic education
Yes.
out of you know, the public school system, and you don't teach people, I had somebody tell me there's 600 people in Congress. You know, I had somebody else tell me on election night that it's not really about the House of Representatives, it's about Congress. And I'm saying to myself, we have a lot of stuff to do. So getting back into education, making sure that our curricula, you know, are really pointed towards, you know, Sean Covey, the leader in me, using
Yes.
the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People,
I've
the
read it.
primary education,
Yes,
right?
I have.
So his son, Sean Covey, did that for the primary school education. Building leaders. Right now, what we have are a bunch of followers waiting for somebody, I mean, you know, waiting for a messiah.
Let me give you some statistics. Prince George's County, what do you think the graduation rate is?
I really don't know, but I hope it's higher than 80%.
82%.
Okay.
It's a good guess. It was 79% just 2 years ago. What do you think Montgomery County's graduation? You live in Montgomery County.
I mean, you know,
give me
stereotypical, I would say maybe a little bit higher than that.
92%. Now, when you and I went to school, guess what? You had to graduate, right, Marcus?
Yeah.
I mean, what's this thing about negotiating graduating? But see, I'm the founding president of Hunter Blackman, as you know, and there's kids sitting out in the park getting high and not even worried about not graduating. How is that possible?
Well, I mean, when you don't get back to the idea of self-concept, and you let
What do you mean self-concept? What do you mean?
I mean, like the original self-concept of the fact that we were made in the likeness of a creator. Therefore, you are to create and not to wait or sit back and have your hand out and wish for.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's a sense of empowerment, not urgency. It's an empowering theory when you understand that you are a creator. When you are a mini creator, you can go out here and make a difference.
I like it.
Your goals and objectives and ideas about what life is and what you can create. I mean, this suit, somebody told the Calvin Klein one day, you were stupid. You know, why would you want to go into fashion? This watch, this ring, me and this wine?
Yeah.
It's all about what do you believe and are you faithful enough to really understand that the dreams and goals and things that you have in your soul are those things given to you by your higher power, and why shouldn't you? And then here's a construct to be able to take your dreams and goals and then move on to the next level so that we can actually create things. We can actually build things. But if I don't have a self-concept, then my self-concept is sitting floating in some weed, you know, on the corner and not thinking about school. But the other thing is there's a responsibility for everybody in the community to make sure that our curriculum is relevant to these kids that are growing up and teaching them in the ways that they need to learn, not in what was working in California or the Stanford system long ago.
You know, Marcus, you're right. You look at social media, you look at Twitter, Snapchat, it's a different way to communicate.
Yes.
And we need to have open classrooms that predicate or it's very similar.
And
I agree with you.
Turn the phone off when you cannot bring a phone to class. Period. My daughter and I had a great conversation the other day. Why? Because she asked me to turn on the TV, and I said no. She asked to turn on the Nick Jr. No. She asked to turn on the radio. No. Daddy, I'm kind of bored. Good. Talk to me. And we ended up talking about persuasive writing. I ended up posting it on Facebook.
Yes.
Persuasive writing. I just played it for my students at Howard because I believe that this thing here is meant to just grab you, get you emotional. Let's get back out of this. And by the way, I'm not negotiating with a 6-year-old. You know, the idea that these parents out here also want to be, they want to be their kids' friends.
We got to get you back. We got 2 minutes. Let's get back. Wow, this is riveting. This is because you're an educator, and this is why I appreciate you and value you, my brother. Getting back to Marcus Johnson, what are some parting words you want to give the viewers about what's coming up with you, initiatives the next 12, 18 months?
Next 12 to 18 months, we'll definitely have some new music coming out. We have Flow available online now at buyflowwine.com.
Buyflowwine.com?
MarcusJohnson360.com has all of our stuff.
What kind of wine? You have red and white?
That's the Moscato. We have a Chardonnay and a red blend.
Excellent.
I'm going to continue figuring out what I can do teaching-wise and getting really more steeped in the community because I believe that, again, it's we the people, and it's our responsibility to be active civil participants. We are the people, Marcus, and you have to do more mentoring because you are an educator. You are a person. What they see is what they be, as we said in 100 Black Men, and you are a role model. So you need to do that, and it's a feel-good thing that you can impart. Just that riveting discussion you had, they need to see that at the high school level and the college level. And at home.
And at home, too. So we appreciate you, what you're doing. When's your next show, by the way?
April 26th, I'm doing a fundraiser for Duke Ellington School for the Performing Arts.
DC?
Yeah, and then I'll be at City Winery at the end of May.
City Winery, okay. And then what's your website again?
MarcusJohnson360.com.
MarcusJohnson360.com. Okay, so Marcus is a good friend. He's a great family man. My son's name is Chase. Is that your daughter or your son?
Yes, daughter.
So we got the same name, and he loves his child. And just thank you for what you do in the community, and thank you for being just a man of who you are in terms of your music, your quality, and even your impacting Howard University. So we're going to wrap it up here, and I want to thank you, brother, again for coming on Kirkland's Corner.
Thank you.
He's a good friend, and next up on Kirkland's Corner, this show every week it gets more exciting. We have an entrepreneur of these Summer Breeze concerts, wine festivals, talking about wine, in the DMV, fight nights with CEO Tricky Entertainment. Ernest Pendergrast is coming up next, right after this on Kirkland's Corner. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you, Marcus.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother. You your football buddy, your football buddy. You, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt,
Such a weirdo.
excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything. I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor. If making my detox public is gonna help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I do solemnly swear to bear true faith and allegiance.
To help you when you're in need.
To be courageous and strong.
For better.
For worse.
To be your loving, faithful friend, child, parent, neighbor.
Learn how you can help a veteran experiencing mental health challenges at maketheconnection.net.
All right, welcome back. My next guest is the CEO of Tricky Entertainment. Say that 5 times. And you know him from his stadium-sized house parties and grown and sexy events like the Summer Breeze in the park, the Tasty Wine Festivals. Welcome. What's up, Erwin? How you doing, brother?
What's up?
Man, tell us what's happening in your life, and congratulations on your success. What's been going on with you?
Man, you know, just the same thing. I just want to keep everybody dancing, man, having a good time. Not a whole lot, you know.
Everybody dancing.
Yeah.
So tell the viewers, what was the brainchild? When did you start this organization? When did you start doing these house parties?
Okay.
And how'd you get where you are now?
Well, it started from college, so it was already in my DNA. And if you go back before then, my mom had the best fish fries on the block. Yeah. So, you know, so it was always entertainment in my family.
And you're from here or where?
Yeah, I'm from Washington, D.C.
Okay, so it started back in the day with the fish fries.
Yeah. So just watching my family in music and watching my family in entertainment, and I think I just carried it on from there.
And then how did you start the parties? You just started reaching out to your base?
Yeah, well, basically, I just started by having a good time. You know, cookouts, you know, just basement parties, just having a good time.
Old school.
Yeah, and then, you know, from that point on, we realized that we had something and people wanted to come and really get out and enjoy this.
Now, what made your house parties different? I mean, I went to a lot of house parties with blue light specials back in the day in New York and New Jersey, and I would come down here, as a matter of fact, from New York with your blue light special parties. So what made your parties different?
Well, you know, it always starts with the pretty girls, right?
Yeah, that helps.
That's usually going to get everybody flowing. So, you know, we attract the good women now, come out, have a good time, treat them right, and then, you know, we just grew from there.
How'd you find the people?
I'm from Washington, D.C., you know, so I got a sense of finesse with me.
So you started with the house parties, and then what happened from that point? So they got bigger?
Yeah, they got bigger. You know, we got into doing things and realized that it was an opportunity to really grow in terms of entertainment.
I see.
And me being a Washingtonian, I always look forward to bringing people from out of town to come back to Washington, D.C.
I got you.
Or PG County, just to see how we do things. Right?
Got you.
And once we got that flow on, it just went from Convention Center to National Stadium Park to wherever,
And how do you advertise and market your events? Is it just word of mouth, or how do you?
Well, now we use radio, but really we just started using radio. Usually we use social media and emails, things of that sort. So now we just started dealing with the radio because we're dealing with so many national artists. So now we're bringing more national artists in.
Who do you? So give the viewers give them a flavor. Who are you bringing in for national artists?
Well, this year.
This year versus last year.
Yeah, last year we had Monica.
We had Monica
at the new anthem by the wharf, right by the waterfront.
That.
Yeah,
My
BJ
man.
the Chicago Kid, and then we had the Chuck Brown Band. We always got to play homage to the city, never leave them out.
Yes,
and,
go.
Yeah,
For
give
life.
them a little bit, give them a little bit,
Yes,
let them
sir.
know this how we do it in D.C., right?
Wow.
And, before then, I done had Chris Michelle and everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I had a ton of artists to come through. And we try to keep a flow going, so a mixture of
How many events do you do a year?
Only 3.
3. And when do you do them?
I do the Summer Breeze in August.
Okay.
Usually in the fall, I do the All Black Extravaganza.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, that's at the anthem, man.
Versus all white, so it's all black. Everybody wears black?
Just wears black. That's all, As a matter of fact, all races come to party with us. So
all races?
Yeah, we done got diversified in that term. So it's cool. We're at a point now that our culture is being respected.
That's a beautiful
through
thing.
the other races,
in
and they
light
just
of what's
want
happening.
to come through and get with us. So that's cool.
Yeah, and then what's the third event you do?
The wine festival for the cool in you.
For the cool in you.
Yeah.
Go ahead there.
And I
Erwin.
usually
For the cool
partner
in
up with
you.
my boy Marcus on that, man.
Oh, Marcus worked with, he told me that.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. So he been with us all 3 years. It's the 4th year. And that's just kind of laid back,
Chill.
just like it sounds. Bring your lawn chair, bring your blanket. We got wine vendors, like 12 different wines. We got amazing food vendors, and we try to keep everything local on this one. Get back to the business, get all the local businesses and everybody get to.
How do you treat the up and coming artists? Do you give them a chance to perform?
Always gonna have a new artist at every event, right?
Excellent.
Always, up and coming. Somebody has not reached their plateau or got the exposure that they needed. We'll give them their opportunity to get down. Yep.
Like I always ask my guests on my show, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Where would you want to be? Would you want to be having national concerts? Would you want to be in Atlanta?
Right.
Where does Erwin want to be in 5 years?
A couple things that I like to do. I don't want to put the whole blueprint out there, but I'm just gonna.
I like the blueprint. Go ahead.
I'm going to shoot it out a little bit. When you look at the festivals in every town, the Essence Festival in Miami, they got Jazz in the Garden.
Yes.
Philly made in America. They got one in Texas, Dallas, and Houston.
Okay.
Cincinnati, but not one in Washington, D.C. Right.
I see.
So we do have the Summerfest that's out in Columbia, but me being a Washingtonian, I want to bring it right to the smack middle of the
And what
city.
venue?
It's the new Audi Stadium. You have seen that?
I have
and
not.
Then, and then I have a real good relationship with Nationals Park. That's where I have Summer Breeze at for the last 11 years. So one of those type of venues, that's what I would like to do. And I also would like to piggyback off that jazz cruise. I like to put a little more flavor in it. I don't want it that laid back though. I want mine to turn up a little bit.
So you have a jazz cruise too? I guess I didn't hear that.
No, that's up and coming. You said where would I like to be?
My bad.
Right, I got you.
So I like that. So tell us about that. So you want to have a jazz cruise to where?
Right. So we're constantly now we're talking to Carnival Cruise Line. They just lost their jazz cruise. Right, so now they lost it to Norwegian. So they're calling me in to put it back together.
Oh, so you might be working on.
So I might be the guy for the job to put it back together and do a 7-day cruise, and just all kinds of entertainment and just good time.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So those are things you'd want to do.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about somebody who wants to get into the business. How hard is your business? I mean, I'm sure you have trials and tribulations. And my favorite quote is the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's how I live my life every day, by the way.
Yeah, that's good.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. So tell them about the good, the bad, and the ugly of this business.
Well, I got a couple things. I always say it'll work if you work it. right?
Work it if you work it?
It'll work if you work it. Right.
If you show up, right?
Yeah. So if you really put in the work, you know, do your due diligence in the artist that you need to bring in, get a venue. I always like to make my patrons feel safe. So I never can have enough police officers and stuff like that, because this is your time to enjoy yourself with all the things that's going on in the world. Right. And I don't appreciate you putting me on behind two lawyers to have all I can say.
But you know, you're onto something, Erwin, because what Marcus said, which I like, he says, why he has the wine and the music, because it's to relax you, it's to nurture you, and you're doing the same thing from all that stress every day.
Right. It's a part of life. And at one time, you know, for your $40, $50, you come in and you just let go. I mean, you have you a drink, you smoke you a cigar, you know, hopefully you drive safely, you get a designated driver, whatever whatever you need to have to be safe.
So behind the scenes, which I guess we don't think about as regular consumers, so tell them you have a lot of security. Right. What else do you have? Obviously you have the stage and the prep and all that. What else do you got going on with a concert?
And you have the good entertainment that people want, right? And then you have
How do you know it's good entertainment?
Well, you have to be out here. You have to understand what's going on. You understand the heartbeat of what's the city
Understand
all
the heartbeat.
Yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
You know, when you know what's going on, you can say, okay, a little Marcus right here, a little reggae right here.
Over there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you can put it all together and then everybody get to enjoy themselves.
That's excellent.
Right? And this all comes with the work, you know, social media, radio, you know, you got to get the word out. You know, basically it still sells. I got to tell you that, look, man.
So how do you know you're having, because now you're Big Willie style. You've been doing this how long?
I've been doing it for about 2 decades.
20 years?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Just from not always financial, not a financial gain all the time, just having a good time for 20 years and just partying.
I like people like you. You know why? Because you're out here grinding, brother. You're not doing the corporate, you know, Fortune 500. You're out here just grinding every day.
I got to get my grind on.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Right.
So how do you know it's a good success? How do you evaluate?
Well,
a good concert.
You know, I watch people a lot. So I people watch a lot. So much that my wife, she's like, are you going to enjoy the show? You know, because I can see what they're drinking and how they're moving and, you know, how they left out, you know. And
getting their swerve on.
Right, it's no better feeling than when people leave an event and with their shoes in their hand, because you know they had a good time. Right.
The best thing for me to see visually is when I see black folks, not white folks.
Right.
I'm not racist.
Right.
When they all swerve at the same time. You know, they moving back and forth to the beat. Nothing like that when they get
we
in their
got
groove.
a different style, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? We got a little swag in us. But when they're going back and forth, there's nothing like that to see that. So is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, what do you do with your failures? Because in life we have the good, the bad, the ugly. How do you deal with your failures when you do a concert and you don't make money?
It's just like everything else. You patch up. You go back to the drawing board. You see what you did wrong.
I see.
Right? Maybe we should have put this person on before that. That crowd was a little too old. We should have put a younger artist.
Yes.
And then we'd have somebody older. We gave the new artist too much time. You know, whatever it is, you're going to tweak it and then make it right. Yeah.
And do you typically have multi-year contracts with these artists, or is it per event?
Not artists, just the venues, right?
Just the venue.
So I'm going to bring you different artists all the time. Right.
I see.
So I don't even want the same.
You don't want you don't want a long-term contract.
So the only artist that I stuck with just on a regular was Marcus and the wine, because he's selling the wine and he's playing the jazz, and he knows me, so he knows the crowd, he knows the city. So we're gonna lock you in, but we'll change everything else around you.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So you try to use the person that knows the area to maximize your return.
Right.
Wow. Now. So what if you had a concert and didn't work out? Do you take your losses and just pick up your britches, so to speak, and you just try to say, this is what I'm not going to do again? How do you learn from that?
I'm across that bridge.
Because you're a business person.
Right. I haven't had losses.
You haven't had losses?
Nah. So, you know, I've been good. I've been taking my time doing my stuff. I mean, things have been better this time than last time. But just a straight up, oh no, that didn't work out, that was bad. I haven't had that. So I've been blessed in that point.
You've been blessed. And who's on your team? Who do you have working in your organization?
Man, first of all, I got my wife. That's my partner. Let's get that straight, you know what I'm saying? And she's CPA, so she hold me down financially and get everything together.
Excellent.
And then I got a team.
Who's your team?
Ray Perez and Kurt
Ray
Walker.
Perez. Okay.
You know, them guys on the DC Fire Department. And then it's so many of them that if I don't want to leave my boys out, you know, so I'm going to leave that one alone.
I got you.
But I got about 5 to 7 guys that rock and roll with me to help
Roddy
me promote.
Dotty like the party. They just your
let's
dogs.
go.
They're your dogs.
Let's go. Yep. From the beginning, you know, when this was black to down there, it's great. It don't matter. They've been with me, right?
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
And you kind of take care of them, right?
Yeah.
Teach
them. Yeah. We all learn together. We win together. You know, it's all good.
I want to make an opportunity for you. I'm the founding president of 100 Black Men. We mentor black youth in the county. We have about 300 youth.
I'm here.
Would there be a way for some of them to kind of hang out with you, to learn from you, to go to your content? Could you make that?
I would love to.
You would?
What?
Yeah,
Bless
that's
you, brother. Big, man. No doubt.
From ages 8 to 18 to see, because I respect what you're doing, and you know, some of them want to go into the business.
Right.
So what I'm going to do, I'll get your number offline, but maybe they could even just shadow you, come to, you know, appropriate concert, because I know there's probably some cursing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would love for them to see the mechanics of behind the scene, because I've had some of them here on the TV show to see the behind it. I would love to see them as a. Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur? Or you are? What are you? Are you a promoter? What are you?
I'm a promoter / businessman.
Right. I like that.
Yeah, because it depends on the opportunity. I can switch gears real quick.
Yeah. So I would want them to see you in action. What are your upcoming events?
Okay, what would be good for the kids? DC Fight Night.
Oh, you do fight nights. That's right.
Yep. So I'm bringing boxing all the way back to the city, right?
Oh my God.
I got Tierra Brown. She's she's Washington D.C. Officer of the Year, and she's fighting for a belt.
When is this?
Right. This is on May the 18th at the ESA with the Mystics play, the new arena over there by.
Can I come?
Oh, of course.
Oh, can I bring some mentees?
On the front row.
My man. Oh my God, you made my day.
Yeah,
they would love that.
I'm gonna hook you up. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they'll love the boxing, right? And then. Also, I got for the cool in you, man. You got to get your shades on, put your shades on, bring your lawn chair, get a pair of blue tips out the closet, man. Don't get too cute, man.
Don't get too cute on me, man.
Just come back and enjoy the jazz, man, and get you a bottle of wine. You know, get your designated driver and have a good time.
And when is this again?
And that's going to be on June the 1st at the Clinton Sports Park.
You got me in that one too.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna call this brother cool, Erwin. You're just cool, man. You're just living in the zone. So we got like 2 minutes to go. What do you want to tell the viewers about anything as it relates to your business, your grind? We're gonna close the segment out.
Right. Well.
And thank you for your time. I love your style.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I try to really give people an outlet. You know, we got the everyday hustle and bustle of life.
Yes, we do.
Kids, marriage, work, the way that you get your money, right?
Yeah.
So all I can do for them is just give them an outlet. It only lasts for 3 to 4 hours, right? And really let yourself go. Not trying to get rich off you, so the prices is not crazy, right? It's just more so for my community in D.C. and Prince George's County for us to get out and enjoy ourselves, be safe, and then make it home.
I love your spirit.
Yeah,
and what's your website?
TrickyEntertainment.com.
TrickyEntertainment.com.
Yep.
And he has the fight night, which is exciting. How long you been doing that?
This is only my second fight.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so I just got into the boxing arena, and I think I'm going to like it.
I think you are too.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you on Kirkland's Corner. Tricky Entertainment, man. I love what you do. I love your spirit, and you just kind of like run between the raindrops. You just chill. And this is true. By the way, for folks across the country, this is real DC authentic brother in the house here, because he's just laying in the cut.
No doubt.
He's grinding. He's a family man. He loves his wife. He has entertainment, and we got 30 seconds, and we just want to thank you for your time today. And man, I'm gonna take you up on that, man. I'm gonna have my mentee sitting right in the front row watching that fight night, man. And then I'm gonna take my wife on that little jazz thing.
Right. That's gonna be cool.
And get some blue glasses like you, man.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you, man. God bless you, man. Thank you for joining, man.
Doubt, man.
Yeah, you're the man sitting next to the man, and we appreciate every week on Kirkland's Corner. We try to make a difference in the community. We try to bring the heat. We try to be the change agents. And Mr. Peacock, my partner in crime, we try to put this together, and I'm excited. And every week it gets better and better. You know, Tricky Entertainment, Marcus Johnson, Aisha Braveboy. I mean, every week it gets exciting here at CTV. So we want to thank you, and we're going to try to continue this excitement here at CTV on Kirkland's Corner. Bye for now, and we're going to see you guys next week. And let's keep this thing rocking and rolling here on Kirkland's Corner. All right. All right. And we want to thank you for watching again, and we'll see you soon. All right. My man, stay right there. Don't leave yet. Stay right there.